My identity, number one, your number one identity is you're a son or a daughter of God. Your second identity is that you're a slave or you are a servant, slave. اولین هویت شما فرزندیه. دومین هویت شما بردگیه. Now, let me say this. Everything in threes, correct? Everything in threes. Otherwise, it's not complete. The kingdom of God is the kingdom of threes. The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Do you want to know who you are? You have to have three identities. You could not have a singular identity. شما نمیتونید یه هویت داشته باشید. باید سه هویت داشته باشید. You have to have three. Everything is complete in threes. All truths in the gospel, all truth in the gospel has to be understood in threes. Otherwise, it's not a complete understanding. God cannot be understood outside the Son and the Father and the Holy Ghost. You cannot be understood outside your identity in the Father, identity in the Son, and there is an identity in the Holy Spirit. Okay? So, who am I in the Father? I'm His child. Born from the side of the Son. در کی هستم؟ فرزندش هستم. از پهلوی مسیح آفریده شدم. از آب و خون او. From the water and the blood of the God's own Son I was born. From second Adam I was born. But who am I choose to be? چه کسی انتخاب میکنم باشم? Who do I choose to be? Even though I'm a child of God, I have godly authority, I choose to serve. انتخاب میکنم که چی؟ برده باشم و به دیگران خدمت بکنم. با اینکه فرزند خدا هستم. I'm going to say this in English and Farsi, very critical. First, let me say it in English. One of the biggest problems that people have with the grace message, and there is a grace message out there, is that people say, well, that's just basically everybody wanting to do whatever they want to do, doing whatever they have to do. They're just going to go out there and have this freedom of grace, and they're going to abuse it. Of course they're going to abuse it. That's what grace is for in their mind, is freedom. But that doesn't change the nature of grace. Grace is grace. You cannot dilute grace because you don't like it. You can only take it for what it is. But the issue of grace is not its abuse. It's the fact that it is the relationship of a father and a child. That's the nature of the relationship between children and their parents. فیض همیشه فیضه. به خاطر اینکه فیض معیار و مقدار رابطه بین پدر و فرزندانشه. اگه فیض نباشه این رابطه وجود نداره. You have 4 children. How many millions of times did they make mistakes? Did you keep any records of them anywhere? Do you have a booklet with the mistakes? You don't have one. And did you tend to want to remember those mistakes? Did you choose to forget them? You chose to forget them. That's what grace is. God's choosing to forgive and forget. You want to argue with Him? Do you want to sit here and tell me, well, so-and-so is abusing it? I don't like it. مردم با فیض مشکل پیدا میکنن به خاطر اینکه بعضی از افراد از فیض سوء استفاده میکنن. خب به شما چه که سوء استفاده میکنن؟ What is it to you that they abuse grace? به شما چه که از فیض سوء شما نکنید. You don't do it. You live your life. And in fact, the right way to do it is not to abuse it. We all know that. Because the Bible says, Jesus did not abuse grace. Jesus chose to serve. مسیح برگشت و خدمت کرد. He chose to say, I am free, yet I will make myself bound to the needs of others. با اینکه من آزادم، خودم رو آزادانه چیکار میکنم؟ تقدیم دیگران میکنم. So you do not dilute grace because that's not the reason we have grace. You have grace so that it liberates you from a life of unsatisfactory relationship with the Father. Because if you do not have grace, you will never be happy with yourself. Let me say this again. اگه فیض ندارید، هیچ وقت خودتون رو نمیتونید در رابطه با پدر راضی نگه دارید. همیشه فکر میکنین کم آوردید. If you don't have grace, It's like never being good enough. Because you know how messed up you are. We all know how messed up we are. ما همه میدونیم چقدر اوضاعمون خرابه. اونقدر اوضاعمون خرابه دیگه نمیتونیم بعضی وقت خودمون رو تحمل کنیم. بلکه فیض ما رو به جای میرسونه که میتونیم در خودمون خوشحال باشیم. Only grace can make us happy within ourselves because we can rest in His grace. You can never rest in yourself because I am totally messed up. What our righteousness is to Him is a filthy rag. نیکویی ما در مقابل او مثل یک پارچه کثیف و کهنه میمونه. پس هیچ وقت نمیتونی در خودت راضی باشی مگه اینکه در فیضش استراحت کنی. Because you don't dilute grace. You listen to the grace. You embrace grace. But then you choose to serve. You choose. And this is the second identity. این هویت دوم هستش. But then, once you choose to serve, the Bible says, حالا که انتخاب کردی که خادم باشی, He said he humbled himself in obedience to God. خودش رو چه کار کرد؟ با متانت خودش رو چه کار کرد؟ کلام چی میگه؟ آیه 8 میگه verse 8 says what in Farsi? شکل انسان رو به خود گرفت. In obedience to God he humbled himself and died a criminal's death on the cross. Okay. Jesus says, do you want to follow me? مسیح میگه میخوای دنبال من بیای؟ مسیح به شما میگه میخوای دنبال من بیای؟ Okay. How many want to follow Christ? Come on. We all want to have. He says, pick up your cross. Okay, now here it is. Picking up the cross is not mandatory, is elective. They may have a problem with that theology, many people, but let me explain this to you. When you got saved, did somebody force you to die on the cross? Or did somebody else did it for you? Jesus did. وقتی شما نجات پیدا کردین، آیا شما رفتین رو صلیب یا دیگری رفت؟ So on salvation, on the issue of salvation, Christ did it for you. Done. You can never die on the cross for your own sins. Done? We agree with that? So on the issue of salvation, حالا برای نجاتتون مسیح به جای شما مرد. But to live a kingdom-minded life, برای اینکه زندگی ملکوتی انجام بدید، بعد از اینکه نجات پیدا کردید, after you have been saved, you have to choose to pick up your cross. حالا بس انتخاب کنی که صلیبتو برداری. But you also can live a life of no consequence. And you can choose to live an earthly, inconsequential Christian life and not pick up your cross. یا میتونی تصمیم بگیری یک زندگی معمولی بدون هدف، بدون تأثیر، بدون هیچ نوع رفرماسیون، بدون هیچ نوع تغییر و تحول، بدون اینکه دنیا و اجتماع خودت تغییر بدی رو انجام بدی. به یک مسیحی صلیب خودت هم و نداری، بری به دنبال زندگی خودت، چون نجات پیدا کردی تمام شد. انتخاب صلیب با توه. See, in the church, I always got really flustered as a pastor. And I did what, I feel for you guys. I did it for 14 years of my life. I wanted people to do the right thing. I wanted them to serve. I wanted them to get engaged. I wanted them to be world changers, life changers. They didn't want to do it. And I was like, and I would question their Christianity. No, they're babies who choose to remain one. That's hence grace. Don't get so stuck on it. Because for those who choose to get to grow, they've got to pick up 2 pieces of beam of wood that are shaped like a cross and a few pieces of nail with it. And it's painful, it is not comfortable, but it is mandatory. And how many people choose to go through that? By their own choosing. Many are called. Few choose the cross. That's okay. That's your choice. This is having the mind of Christ. عزیزان همه تو کلیسا میان خیلی نجات پیدا میکنن، نه؟ بعد خیلی گیر میکنن روی این مسئله، میگن این همه آدم اومدن 100 تا آدم میاد فقط 5 تاشون میخوان خدمت کنن، اعصابشون رو 95 تا خورد میکنن. بابا انتخاب صلیب برای نجات مال همه است. انتخاب صلیب برای زندگی روحانی و مؤثر بودن تو ملکوت انتخاب فقط بعضی است، چون همه حاضر نیستن. باشه ما آزادیم و در آزادی انتخاب میکنیم صلیب رو برداریم یا برای نداریم. خدا اونجا نشسته گریه کنه برای اونایی که بر نداشتن. خدا میگه به دنبال من بیا. Just come to me, after me. It's not like it's forced mandatory, obligatory. We want to teach it that way, but that's not the way the kingdom teaches it, because Jesus doesn't say, you have to follow me. He says, if you call me your Lord and Master, then do as I tell you to do, follow me. There's always a very basic experience here. I have 2 children, a boy and a girl. And if I tell my 2 children to do the same thing, and one of them does it and the other one doesn't, do I kick the other one that doesn't out of my house? Do I or will I? Will you? Will you? So they're saved. That's not an issue of being in the house or not. The issue is the one who does gets more authority, and it gets more blessings, and it gets more open time with daddy. That's normal. Okay, 2 تا بچه تو خونه، 2 تا بچه بهش میگه آقا بکن این کارو، یکی میکنه یکی نمیکنه. آیا اون بچه که نمیکنه رو از خونه بیرون میکنی؟ پس فیض همینه. آقا نکرد باز تو خونه خداست، کرد باز تو خونه خداست، چون بابا بیرون نمیکنه. تموم شد. نشینید اینجا یه قول دوقل با خودتون بازی کنید بگین که این نجات نداره، این نجات داره، این کارو میکنه. آقا خودتون رو اذیت نکنید، نجات دارن، چون ایمان به عیسی مسیح پیدا کردن. تمام بهای گناه رو مسیح داده. به شما چه؟ ولی اگه طرف میخواد اطاعت کنه، اگه یکی از بچه‌هام اطاعت بکنه دیگری نکنه، به اون بچه‌ای که اطاعت کرده برکت بیشتر داده نمیشه؟ وقت بیشتر بهش داده نمیشه؟ اقتدار بیشتر بهش داده نمیشه؟ تموم شد. So simple. نورمال. تمام شد. اینم ملکوت خداست. Now, point 3. It says, now that he made himself obedient unto death, check this out. آماده هستیم؟ Therefore, God elevated him to the place of the highest honor. حال که این تصمیم گرفتش که قربانی بشه، به مقام‌های بالا گذاشته شد. And gave him a name above all names, that at the name of Jesus every knee should bow in heaven and on earth and underneath the earth, and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Essentially, he says he became the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, full authority. حال که این اقتدار رو از خودش کنار گذاشت که به دیگران خدمت بکنه و پاشوری دیگران رو بکنه، حال خداوند به اون اقتدار پادشاه پادشاهان رو داد. بکرد نام عیسی مسیح هر زانوی خم بشه و در واقع به خاطر اطاعتش پادشاه هم شد. Because of his obedience, he became the king. So now that's your third identity in the Holy Spirit. You are a king. You are a world changer king. But there is a prerequisite to that identity. Obedience of the cross. And there's a prerequisite to that obedience of the cross, the freedom of grace. One leads to the other, then one leads to the other. So here it is. You have to first embrace your salvation. You have to first embrace your Father and realize that you can never do anything to please Him in your own flesh. Once you embrace your God-given position as a child of God, then you can choose to willingly serve another. When you choose to willingly serve another, you become Christ-minded, Christ-figured, Christ-life. And when you obey unto death, which means you give up what your rights are for the sake of others, God elevates you to the kingship position. Now you can take dominion over this earth. For Christ was the beloved Son of God. Then He chose to come in the earth, and He died on the earth. Then He was resurrected into a kingship. That is a pattern of identity. حال که شما فرزندان خدا هستید، باید با انتخاب خودتون آزادی خودتون رو در کنار خودتون به دست خدا بسپارید. بگید من فرزند تو هستم. خدا رو شکر. دیگه لازم نیستش که با اعمال خودم تو رو خوشنود کنم. من در فیض تو آرام هستم، ولی این آزادی رو ازش سوء استفاده نمی کنم. تو رو خدمت می کنم، بچه های تو رو خدمت می کنم، صلیب خودم رو برمیدارم و از حق و حقوق خودم میگذرم تا ملکوت تو بنا شود. و بعد خدا میگه خدا رو شکر برای تو فرزندم، حال که این کار کردی تو امروز پادشاه منی. امروز اقتدار آسمان و زمین رو به تو میدم، حالا بر روی زمین حکمرانی کن. اون وقت هستی که درهای بسته باز میشه. That's when closed doors become open. That's when blessings flow. That's when favor overshadows his church. That's when the church becomes freedom-loving, grace-preaching, servanthood mandate, serving-minded, servant-minded, slave-minded, cross-bearing, and then kingdom-oriented, dominion-taking church. And it comes as a pattern. First one, listen, you can never teach servanthood without teaching grace first. Because if you teach servanthood without grace, it becomes works. Because then they say, hey, that's what we're supposed to do. The do's and don'ts come in. That's what I did for years in the Iranian church. I told people, you have to serve. I didn't give them the freedom to choose. تو کلیسا اگه فیض رو اول درس ندی نمیتونی خدمت هم درست درس بدی. اول فیض میاد بعد خدمت میاد. اول فیض میاد بعد بندگی میاد. چون شخص باید با دست خودش آزادانه خدمت رو به دل بگیره. نمیتونی مجبورش کنی. نمیتونی. ولی اگه از اول بهش بگی این وظیفه توئه، میگه وظیفه‌مو قبول نمیکنم. شاید 2 سال قبول کنه، 1 سال قبول کنه و بعد ولش میکنه. We have people that start but never finish. You give them stuff to do in church, they do it halfway. And then there's a few guys who come and do it with all of their heart, all of their mind, all of their energy. Amen? Why? Because they embraced that identity on their own. It wasn't slapped on them. Okay? It was who they know they are. When they wake up in the morning, they say, I am a servant of the Most High God. I serve you, Father, because I choose to serve. I don't tell people what to do in church. I encourage them to find it in themselves to serve. That's going to be a good phrase if you ever catch on to it. To find their own identity of servanthood. من به مردم تو کلیسا نمیگم چی کار بکنن چی کار نکنن. تشویقشون میکنم که خودشون بخوان که این لقب رو بر خودشون بگیرن که من غلام خدا عیسی مسیح هستم. خودش این رو به این نقطه برسه، در خودش یافت بکنه. This is called identity. This is understanding who you are. If this happens, 3 fundamental changes and radical transformation in church happen. 1, church will never be bound by a spirit of religion, which is the biggest problem the church has. اولین اتفاقی که در کلیسا میفته اگه این هویت شناسی درست انجام بشه اینه که بند اسارت شریعت از کلیسا برداشته میشه. تمام شده بس. No longer we sit in church examining each other to see who's stronger and who's weaker, who's closer, who's farther, who is in sin, who's not in sin. We have a who cares attitude when it comes to that. No, we don't have a who cares attitude. But we have an understanding of a kingdom view on it. In that everybody is at a different place in their life. Everybody is struggling with different things. God's patience and perseverance through His grace is the rule, not the exception. We relax in the grace of God, giving everyone the freedom and the time to mature on their own. Because when you judge another, you stand judged. Because if you think that you're upright and holy, you got something wrong. Because when you are totally split open, your inner mind, your inner soul, your inner thoughts are bared open before God, you got another judgment coming. I've seen my biggest struggles in church were with the holiest thou crowd. Holiest thou. They would stand, why is this guy preaching that way? Why is the music this way? Why is that person dressed like that? Why are they singing loud? Why are they singing slow? Why is this one twisting on the ground when the Holy Spirit comes on him? Why is he laughing? Why is he crying? Why is that? Why is that? I said, my gosh, you're the deacons of the church. I want to throw you all out. You know, focus on you, your own relationship. Engage. Let people relax a little bit, huh? I may not speak for any American church because it's not as often there. That I deal with the Iranian church, and I deal with it every time. It's encumbrance. It's like suffocating spirit of religion in Iran. Suffocating. Suffocating. People are not in this conference. You know why not Iran is in this conference? Because Iranian pastors don't always approve of other pastors because they're worried what he will teach you. My gosh, relax. People have to have their own maturity and guidance. In the end of the day, I don't want to understand most of this stuff. I have enjoyed my Christian walk. I'm having fun. من از زندگی مسیحیم لذت میبرم. اگه میخوام نگران این باشم که دیگران میخوان چیکار کنن، چیکار میکنن نمیکنن، کجا میره کجا نمیره، چجوری میخونه چجوری نمیخونه، چجوری درس میده چجوری درس میده، میمردم بابا. آزادم. آن که پسر آزاد کرده است یقینا آزاد است. I enjoy my life. I enjoy my Christian walk. You know, I don't look around too much. I don't mind other people's business. And you may think that's wrong. But that is the liberty of understanding I have brothers and sisters, whether I like them or not, they're my brothers and sisters. Here's another example. In my house, there's one boy and one girl. Ready? They don't always agree. And they sometimes fight. But none has the right to throw the other one out of the house. None has. So what do? You rest in the love of your own father. برادر خواهر تو خونه هستن. هر دو تو خونه هستن. بعضی وقتا برادر خواهر با هم دیگه دعوا میکنن. بعضی وقتا با هم دیگه موافقت نمیکنن. ولی آخر سر یه برادر حق بیرون کردن خواهر رو نداره و خواهر حق بیرون کردن برادر رو نداره. هر دو تایشون از آروم بگیرن و در محبت پدرشون ساکت بشینن. The love of the father is the guy. So, the first fundamental thing happens after you understand who you are in the identity of a son is that you are relinquishing, liberating, and freeing yourself from the spirit of religion in the church. Which is what Paul argues in the book of Galatians against. And this is a very, very dangerous thing. What he says, this is what he says to the book of Galatians. He says, who has fooled you? Who has befuddled you into letting go of what you found your salvation in? Now you're trying to do all this. He says, now let me give you a warning. You stand in the danger of losing the very thing you were given. The only thing that can rob you of your grace is religion. You know, God can handle sin, but He sure fights against the spirit of religion. Who did He have the biggest arguments against? Who did He call vipers? Your broods of vipers? The Pharisees. Did He call the tax collectors? Did He call the prostitutes something? Did He not embrace them, love them, hug them, spend time with them? Yes or no? But whom did He not hug? Whom did He shun away? Whom did He say, get away from me? The Pharisees. خداوند با همه گناهکارا میتونه راهرو بشینه و برخاست. از زن زناکار گرفته تا باجگیر و مالگیر و هرچی مال جمع کنش و همه. فقط با اون فریسیای متظاهرین مذهب جنگ میکرد که تو کلیسا زیادن. در اسم مسیحیت میشینن ولی بار سنگینی رو افراد میذارن که خودشون نمیتونن هم بکنن. They put a weight on people who they cannot carry themselves. If you can understand this, it's not about, a church with no boundaries. It's about just getting freed from the oppressive spirit of religion. Because once that happens, the very second thing is you need to teach people, encourage people, and invite them into what me and Brother Steve called a participation of the cross. That you participate with Him in the cross. You say, I willingly get up on my cross. بعد از اینکه آزادی فیض رو پیدا کردی، با انتخاب خودت، با تشویق دیگران میگی صلیب به من بده، این صلیب مال منه، اسم من روشه، من این صلیب رو حمل میکنم. I'll do it. That cross has my name on it. I'll carry it. I'll participate. For as much as I share in your glory, I share in your suffering. Yes. And let me say this. You want to be a victorious church? You want to see signs and wonders and miracles flow like a running river out of your church? You need to participate in also the suffering of the cross. You need to give up your own for the other. You need to serve. You need to love and cry with others. You need to do the things that are required. Before you see all these signs and wonders, you need to have the right heart. Because the power of God is like a river. It just needs a proper channel to flow, to go through. And I will teach you on one of my sessions about the 4 rivers of Eden, what they mean. Because each river is about you and what a church can do. The 4 rivers of Eden. They have a name, they have a purpose. And he's looking for a ground that he can dig and traverse a pathway for his supernatural to flow. But you have to dig first. We have 2 minutes. So, the third identity و هویت سوم چی میشه؟ It's the kingship identity. Once you have encouraged people to participate in the cross, whether you know it or not, بدون اینکه حتی متوجه بشی، وقتی صلیبت برداشتی و شروع کردی خدمت کردن, you will see signs, wonders, miracles start happening over you. You start saying, thou shalt be healed, and they will be healed. میبینی که میگی شفا پیدا کن و شفا پیدا میکنه. Opens heaven up. Heavens open up. Heavens open up. Because authority is there. Kingship authority is established. No more struggle. Thou be healed. Stand up and walk, and he is walked. Open your eyes, and they're open. This is called kingship authority. It flows out of that cross. It flows out of the throne of my Father. That's who I am. I'm a child of my Father. I'm a servant to his Son. And I'm a king in his spirit. Can we say this together? This is who I am. من این هستم. I'm a son to my Father. من فرزند خدا هستم. I'm a son to my Father. Come on, you can forget. I'm a son to my Father. من فرزند خدا هستم. Okay, this needs a coffee crowd here. I'm a son to my Father. من فرزند خدا هستم. I'm a slave to my master. من برده عیسی مسیح هستم. And I'm a king in the Holy Spirit. و من پادشاه در روح القدس هستم. This is who I am. This is who I am.